Good evening, guys, and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, woke up early this morning, I think I finished, no, I didn't finish all of my Christmas shopping. Funny, I ended up going to Five Below because I was trying to find actually a gift for the dogs. Ended up finding sort of the second part to Jack's gift, and I didn't end up remembering to get the thing for the dogs. So I have two gifts for the puppies, but I don't have anything for Bliss, so I wanted to get something for her. I saw they had dog toys, and it was funny because I was actually looking and I was like, oh look, they have dog sweaters. I remember why we went into the store, but then ended up leaving with only the one thing. And so, like I said, I have no clue why. I was just completely forgot. So like I said, why I even went in there today. I think we ended up going to Starbucks first, maybe. Then we ended up going to, I think, Dick's Sporting Goods after that, which ended up getting a really good deal on Matthew's, one of Matthew's Christmas gifts. It wasn't for me, it was for my parents, but I went with to help orchestrate the deal. And so he actually had a pair of gym shoes that were on his list, and so we ended up going and we found them that they were the same ones as the ones that were listed online. I think they were $90 on sale, but they were normally $170, I believe. They were expensive. But on top of that too, I also had a $10 off coupon off of any $50 or more purchase. So since they were, like I said, I think they were either $90 or $80 pair of shoes or something. But with my coupon, we ended up getting them for only like 80 or 70 bucks instead, which was really awesome. And so I had actually a coupon booklet of like, there was like an area that's like a sort of outdoor like shopping mall, like sort of strip mall, but there's like a lot of stuff like all in like this whole like area. So like I said, it's sort of like outdoor shopping mall-ish. But just a couple days earlier in the week, they ended up sending a coupon booklet full of like coupons of the entire area that was participating in them. So we ended up using that coupon at Dick's Sporting Goods, and like I said, got a pretty good deal on Matthew's gym shoes that he wanted. On top of that too, we ended up then going to Yankee Candle because I had a coupon for buy one get one free. However, it was only on regular priced candles. All of the candles in the store were on sale, and the ones that we ended up actually finding were better than you have used, like having used the buy one get one free coupon, because they were on sale for $10 and they were normally $26. So if I had bought two at $26, I would have ended up paying $26 for two of them instead of like $13 each. So that ended up making it a little bit of a better deal. And then even too, all of the other candles were all 50% off, which was the exact same as using a buy one get one free coupon, because the items work out to be 50% off anyway. But you have to buy two. So we ended up doing one of just the 50% off candle and then one of the other one, which I ended up picking out because, guys, I ended up getting, I have not been able to find this exact same scent in years. I ended up buying a candle from Walmart that was something like raspberry lemonade or something lemonade, and it was from just like their mainstay brand, which is what it used to be called, at least, of like their candles. And I have never been able to find anything that smells exactly like it. I found some things that are kind of similar, like I think the Pink Sands by Yankee Candle and one of the other ones are like slightly similar to it a little bit, like they kind of smell a little fruity, like, but like it's weird because even like lemon scented stuff doesn't smell like the lemonade one that I got. This one from Yankee Candle, it was actually made with essential oils, and they were the ones that were on sale for $10. It smelled just like that. And I don't know why, it just takes me back to like, I think I got it like the first year I was out of high school. And so for some reason, it just reminds me of like just being out of high school, like, like again, that like I was probably like 18, 19 years old, something like that, and like that candle smell, it sort of reminds me of like that year, like I said, the year or two after high school. So that would have been like 2015, 2016. Like I said, I burnt it sort of like, like periodically through that year, so like whenever I smell it, it just sort of like brings me back to that, you know, for some reason. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but like, and especially too in the winter, because I remember I got it, I think like not for Christmas, but I think maybe I did, maybe I picked it out and like had, you know, again, my parents give it to me for Christmas or something like that, like kind of did again, but I picked it out from Walmart, and like I said, I absolutely love that, because I remember specifically like it was in January or maybe February, I ended up remembering like I burned it several times, and like for some reason, especially during that part of the year, like even though it's like a lemonade, sort of like more like summer, you know, sort of scented, you would think that I would smell more like that. Like for some reason for me, it reminds me of like January, February kind of time, because I burnt it a lot during that time. So that's what, it's so funny to me, because there are certain like scents and like, you know, like taste too, like if you have a food, it can remind you of something, a certain sound, like music, like I said, you know, a certain smell, like from a candle. It can remind you, you know, and kind of bring you back to, you know, that moment in time, which like I said, I don't know why. There was nothing like really unique about that time. It was just, it reminds me of like that year or two, you know, like I said, like 2014, 15 kind of year, where like I said, I don't know why I was burning that candle apparently a lot. And so finding that exact same one, though, a Yankee Candle, I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Of course, it was a lot more money than the one I paid for Walmart that smelled pretty much the exact same, but they discontinued it, so I have not been able to find it or anything else that smelled similar to it. So I don't know if it was always like a dupe of the Yankee Candle one, or like I just found the one at Walmart and like, you know, this one just happens to smell similar of it as well. But like I said, I'm super happy that we ended up finding that, and the deal too. So we ended up going there. Like I said, we also went to Five Below. Ended up getting a gift, like I said, a second sort of part to a gift for Jack. Then we ended up going to this pizza place. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it reminded me of like a Chipotle, but for pizza. Like if you wanted to, you could make your own pizza, and they have like the whole thing all laid out, kind of like, you know, like a Subway Chipotle kind of thing, where you can pick your own toppings and everything like that, or you can just choose from like, you know, the already pre-made sort of ones, you know, and then just again add, you know, be like, oh, can you just not have that, or can I add that to it, or whatever. So I ended up getting sort of like a margarita pizza, but it reminded me a lot of like California Pizza Kitchen, but it was so cool because it was like fast food pizza, where like it took us maybe about 5 to 10 minutes in total, like, you know, probably 15 max at the place, just to go like run in, pick up the pizzas, you know, pick up the pizzas and everything like that. So it was really cool, and like I said, getting to try that out. But I think I've told you guys too, normally every year around Christmas, normally once a weekend sort of, or, you know, like me and Jack I'm going today, Jack's going tomorrow. My dad normally winds up taking us out Christmas shopping, and like we did it, it's our Christmas tradition, because we started doing it like back when we were like really little, and my grandma actually kind of started the tradition. She used to give us like $20 each to buy Christmas gifts from like the dollar store, mainly for like our parents, or also to like I would pick out something for Matthew would pick out something for me. This was before Jack was even born, like, so this was like we were pretty little. Like again, I couldn't have been any older than 10. I was probably like 7, 8, maybe 9 years old, something like that. But that was sort of when it started. And then as Jack started to get older, like he came with us maybe once or twice, but I don't think that like we were really doing it with my grandma anymore at that point. But like I said, she would give us like $20 each, and we were, you know, it was cool because it was actually like taught us sort of how to manage money a little bit too. Like, okay, well, you know, like my thing was always like, okay, I'll divide up, you know, like again, like $5 per person or whatever it was. My grandma would always say too, like, don't buy anything for me, but I would always normally like buy her like just at least one little gift that she'd want or something like that. But that was always our thing. We would just, you know, like she started taking us there, and she did it too as a way to just like give us the opportunity to buy gifts for our parents, and, you know, also to just like that that freedom and independence. And like I said too, I was actually really good at that time. Like that was the first time I really remember like sort of managing and like handling money a little bit more when it was for somebody else, if that makes sense. Like I sort of had like a budget and I had to stick to it. Instead, a lot of times, like, you know, if I went to like Walmart or whatever, it was like I would earn my allowance and then I would go, you know, again to like Walmart, like, oh, I really want that Barbie, and I'd have to realize like, okay, well, if I make like, you know, $2 a week in allowance, I'd have to save up this much money to get that or whatever. But like having like a full $20 and then having to manage my money as far as like I have to buy like, you know, 5 gifts, you know, or, you know, whatever it was, how many, you know, I can buy like 2 or 3 gifts, you know, for like each person, or I could buy, you know, again, figuring in tax too. I think my grandma normally covered tax, so and when the Dollar Tree used to just be $1, it made everything a little bit easier. But like I said, you know, depending on how many people we were buying for, whatever, you know, and sometimes I'd pick out something for the dogs. Like I said, you know, we would wind up a lot of times, you know, it was a really smart way to figure out how to sort of manage money as like a younger kid. And so maybe that's actually why I like couponing and grocery shopping so much and everything like that, was really because my grandma sort of, I guess, instilled that in me. But like I was saying, you know, we used to do that with her, and then it started turning into a little bit where we started doing it with my dad. And like, I think he didn't used to always take us to like the dollar store, but like we wind up going to like Walmart or something like that, or Target, or like GameStop. But he would normally a lot of times take us with to just like buy sometimes 2 gifts for my mom. Like, you know, if he was like, oh, what do you think she'll like, you know, that kind of thing, kind of get our input or whatever. Even though they weren't really like gifts from us, you know, like they would still be things that like, you know, we helped pick out and stuff like that. But that was, I think, how it sort of started with my dad then, and then it started to move into now, like over the last handful of years, where we wind up normally each getting like sort of a weekend or like a weekend day. Like I said, today was mine, Jack's going tomorrow. And then the one thing we always wind up doing is we always go out and we get some type of like lunch or dinner also too. So like I said, we ended up doing pizza. That's what, you know, we ended up picking for today. Jack and my dad normally wind up doing steak and shake. Me and him do something different every single year. I think we like to just experiment with like different food. If we keep seeing something too, because this pizza place is actually in the, I think, the Meyer parking lot, and so we keep seeing this pizza place. We're like, we really want to try it, we really want to try it. And so like, but we're normally, other than when we come back from Meyer, there's never a time when we're sort of in that area, but we were in that area for shopping today. So since that was the case, we ended up going there and picking that. But like, we went to like a lot of times we'll go to Potbelly. I feel like that's the one we probably went to a few times over the year. But like I said, we'll kind of go somewhere different almost every year. But Matthew and my dad normally wind up going to Jimmy John's. That was always the big thing. And for some reason too, Jimmy John's always reminds me of Christmas, just because like we would normally wind up getting it because there was a Jimmy John's right next to the GameStop we used to go to, so we'd always go and run in there and just grab that. And like, you know, and it was near the Target too that we would shop at, and Walmart. So we just kind of stop in there a lot of times for like, you know, lunch. And when we were little, it wasn't really a tradition. It was just something we would do because it was convenient. But then it started to turn into where it was like we would do it, you know, like almost annually. And then all of a sudden it turned into a thing where like, I think one year my dad, you know, like the tradition wasn't actually established, but I think there was one year we didn't do it. Matthew was like, you know what I didn't get this year? Jimmy John's. And it was like this really big thing. And then all of a sudden we were like, yeah, like, you know, we really didn't wind up doing that. We didn't wind up, you know, going Christmas shopping and stuff like that, like, you know, with my dad. And so that's kind of just how the tradition started. And so, like I said, today we ended up just going around and, you know, like I said, you guys heard, we went to, you know, Dick's Sporting Goods. We ended up going to, you know, Five Below because I had stuff that I need to get there, and then ended up not being able to actually get the thing that I went there for. But then after that we ended up getting the pizza. We came back home, and then we ended up going back out to Target. And guys, I finally found, we went to the other Target. They did wind up having those the wrapping paper, little like wrapping paper holder sort of thing, like the storage like tote you know, plastic storage container for the wrapping paper. They had those at that Target, which was awesome. And on top of that too, I also used coupons there. I used, I did wind up getting gifts for my mom too. I got her 3 pairs of like cute socks, which was kind of my, what I was planning on getting her anyway as well, in addition to her other gift that I'm getting her. But it's kind of, we have a sort of inside joke about my mom's socks, so I ended up getting her a couple of, like I said, cute pairs of socks, and then we ended up grabbing I think a couple of other gifts for Matthew and Jack. But I did have a 5% off coupon, like the Target Circle, for my birthday that they sent me, that's like available until the 21st, because I think it's for a whole month after my birthday. And then there was also 2 sent to us, the other Target that, like I said, we went to, that was not the normal one we go to, but this other one they had just remodeled, so they sent a coupon in the mail for $5 off a $15 purchase. So in addition to that, I also got an extra $5 off the stuff we ended up paying. I think we only spent like 30 bucks between everything, or maybe 40 or something like that, which I thought actually was pretty decent. So either way, we ended up, you know, getting all the stuff done sort of that we needed to, finding all the deals. I ended up finding another deal too on something from Meijer that I think my dad might wind up doing, but we have to go, I think, on like Friday or Saturday, because I think the deal might only be good on Friday and Saturday, or the best kind of that it will be. So I think, like I said, we're going to do that, or at least I'm going to have my dad probably wind up going, you know, go and do that, because it was something that Matthew and Jack both had on their list, and I have not seen any deals on it. And so now I found something at Meijer that I actually think will be pretty good. So anyways, I am like, even if it's not something that I'm buying personally, I am still always keeping an eye out for any type of deal. Like if there's something that's on somebody's list, and then again, I'm always flipping through all kinds of different apps and ads and, you know, all kinds of stuff on my phone. So if I come across something and I was like, somebody had that on their Christmas list, I will, you know, again, alert the, you know, the correct party as to, you know, like who, you know, might wind up buying that for somebody or whatever, just so again, they get the best deal on, you know, whatever it is. Because even if it's something that you're like, oh, this is like the only gift that I want, you know, that's, you know, maybe really expensive, but if you can get a good deal on it, still, if it's the only thing that you want, you know, whatever, again, if it's something really expensive, then, you know, and you can still, again, get it for fairly cheap, then it's like, you know what, it really wasn't that big of a present, it wasn't that expensive of a present, because we ended up finding a pretty good deal on it for pretty cheap. So like I told you guys too, I'm always deal hunting for Christmas, for groceries, all that stuff. I did wind up finishing making sort of my big list for Aldi and kind of for Walmart too, because we have to do all of our shopping. We kind of need to get most of it at least somewhat wrapped up probably. I want to do it before, sometime we have to do it definitely before Saturday because that's the party, but I kind of want to do it a little bit before, like maybe even by Thursday at the very latest. But we might wind up actually going to Meijer by, what's it called, on Tuesday this week, because of some other scheduling conflicts that might wind up working out. But either way, I finished up all of my Aldi and Walmart and Jewel and what's the other store? Menards. We also need to head over to the other Five Below because it is there's not the one we went to today, but there's a different one that's in our area. And you need to go there because, like I said, I wanted to look for a gift for Bliss, and I wanted to get her some type of dog choose toy or something like that from me. So like I said, I want to find her that, and that was the whole reason, like I said, I went there anyway. But that is one extra place that I think needs to be added to the list. Good news though is that there's football games on, but there's no Bears game on tomorrow. So that's kind of why Jack and my dad are going to go Christmas shopping tomorrow. And then, like I said, we're going to do the grocery shopping though in the morning. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe. And I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.